So they just warned that, quote, pain is coming. All right, they're officially doing it. They warned this was going to happen, and now they're going through with it. All right, and how much more can we take? How much more can we take? Why are we subject to this roller coaster of the economy that's being created and that has been created? All right, and we are heading towards Argentina situations. We are heading towards Venezuela situations. We are heading towards these very, dystopian monetary policy situations. We are heading towards that very quickly, and nobody's calling anyone on it. All right, the show just must go on. So if you haven't seen, the Federal Reserve chairman warned that pain will be coming for American citizens very soon. All right, and the reason why this is because they will be raising the interest rates 0.75 of a percentage point. All right, so this is going to affect everything. This is going to affect the housing market. This is going to affect the stock market. This is going to affect credit card loans. This is going to affect auto loans. This is going to affect everything. Everything depends. RV loans. Everything depends on these interest rates. And we are supposed to live in a free market economy, apparently. And we are just subject to our government printing endless amounts of money, and then our government also raising interest rates artificially to solve their problem of printing money. Okay, when is the cycle going to stop? When are we going to have a real free market? Because these interest rates are also, you are subject to this. You are on the bill for this debt, and the debt that the government racks up has to be paid back with interest, and the interest rate is whatever the Federal Reserve determines it to be. Okay, they could wake up tomorrow and be like, interest rates are 20%. Okay, if you didn't see my video about Argentina, they are going to raise their interest rates to match their inflation. It's a deal they have with the IMF, and their inflation is 79%. So they're going to raise their interest rates to 79%. All right. And this is going to affect everything. This is going to put the United States into a recession. All right. People are going to buy less cars. There's already car shortages. The auto industry is already struggling. There's already part shortages. There's chip shortages. There's all kind of shortages, and substitutions are being made. Same thing with the RV industry. A lot of people don't know this, but there are massive RV part shortages. Okay. People are backlogged for years to get certain models of RVs because they have to have like specific equipment. Okay, and they are finding whatever equipment they can get and Frankensteining RVs together and slapping the logo on it, even though that's not what they're essentially building it as. They're using like different frames, they're using different fridges, they're using different stoves, different pumps, all different kinds of things. Different furniture layouts, cabinets, okay, because there's shortages on all these different things. So there's already backlogs, and now if interest rates are raised as well, people are going to be less interested in buying. People are going to be even less able to buy, and it's just going to slow down all these markets. Okay, they're all going to be affected by it. Any market that's a debt-based market gets hit extremely hard when they raise interest rates, and that's why it's dangerous to have debt-based economies and debt-based markets. Okay, even the stock market is, I can't remember the percentage off the top of my head, but it's a massive percentage of it is funded by debt. All right, so the point is that they use debt hoping that the interest rates will be lower than their return on the stock market. So if they can make 10% a year on the stock market, and the debt, their interest on the debt is 3% and inflation is 2%, that's 5%. They still make 5% profit on debt, on money that they didn't even own, or money that they didn't even have. Sorry, I'm stuffy out here. got allergies. It's fall. The leaves are falling. Tons of leaf mold. All that good stuff. I've had allergies my whole life. It's always been an issue, but it's all good. It's how it is. But the entire stock market is debt funded. All right. Not the entire stock market, but a giant percentage of it. So if they can't make it work with this inflation as well, with inflation being 8%, 9%, 7, 8, 9%, okay, on top of the interest rates for the debt being raised, if the stock market's not giving them returns of 12, 15, 20%, they're not making any money, okay? And all that money goes under. People lose money, people start dumping stocks, and their stocks get devalued even more, okay? I think I read that it was like 1 in 5 people have gotten rid of their brokerage accounts, okay? So 1 in 5 people are essentially like possibly getting out the stock market. They might be doing it themselves, but potentially 1 in 5 people are pulling out, okay, pulling their money out of the stock market because it's too risky. A lot of people have their whole retirements tied up in this, and they're just seeing it deplete. Okay, all it's doing is depleting because it's a retirement fund. They're not making income and putting money into it. And then it's also being whittled away by inflation and by the stock market. All right, so let's hope that this, I don't know, if this doesn't get worse, that they don't raise inflation or raise interest rates even higher. Okay, hopefully inflation settles down and slows down, but we're really at the mercy of these people. You know, we're really at the mercy of whatever the Fed says. And by the way, I made a whole video on this before, like months ago, how the Federal Reserve is private and public. All right, so it's part of the government, but it doesn't have, but its oversight is private. It's privately funded and owned. It's very strange. Okay, it's very strange. Think about it. There are public debt holders of the U.S. debt. So who really owns all this debt? Who really owns this 30 whatever trillion in debt that we have? Who really is holding the bag for that? All right, there's somebody. You know, obviously there's like countries that hold it. China has trillions. People have bonds. But there are probably massive actors that hold massive percentages of this debt, and they probably also influence the Federal Reserve and their interest rates, because the more the debt goes up and the more the interest goes up, the more money they make, essentially, because it's percentage based, right? So it's just like a win-win for them, and we're just on the hook for more and more money all the time. All right, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like hundreds of thousands per citizen if you average out the debt and the liabilities, the unfunded liabilities, to every U.S. citizen, every taxpayer. I think, yeah, if you do it every taxpayer, for sure, it's like hundreds of thousands. It's like $300,000 or $400,000 per person. All right, this is the top of my head. All right, I haven't looked in a couple weeks, but go look it up if you want to look at this more. Look at U.S. debt clock. Just Google that or whatever search engine that. U.S. debt clock, and there's a tracker that shows it in live time, everything that's going on, and it only goes up. It only goes up. I've never seen it go down. Obviously it's gone down in history, but I've never seen it gone down with this website. All right, so let me know what you guys think. What are you doing to get prepared for this interest rate hike? And the Fed is saying, Jerome Powell himself is saying that, quote, pain is coming to Americans. So thank you guys for watching, and have a blessed one.